Chapter 1. Early Life. Carl Sagan was born on November 9, 1934, in Brooklyn, New York. His parents were Sam and Rachel Sagan. Carl's father, Sam, worked as a garment worker, while his mother, Rachel, was a homemaker who loved to read and encouraged Carl's curiosity. Brooklyn in the 1930s was a lively place. The streets were filled with the sounds of people chatting, cars honking, and children playing. Carl often joined the neighborhood kids for games. But he was different in one way. He always asked questions. Why is the sky blue? How do planes stay up in the air? His parents noticed his curiosity and encouraged him to explore. One summer afternoon, when Carl was about 5 years old, his parents took him to the New York World's Fair. The fair was a magical place for a young boy. There were towering pavilions, colourful lights, and exhibits from all over the world. But what caught Carl's eye the most was the science exhibits. He saw giant telescopes, models of planets, and displays about space travel. His heart raced with excitement as he imagined what it would be like to travel among the stars. After the fair, Carl couldn't stop thinking about the universe. He wanted to learn more. Luckily, his mother, Rachel, loved going to the library. She took Carl with her and showed him the rows of books. Carl's eyes widened at the sight of so many books. He quickly found the section on astronomy. He picked out a book with a picture of Saturn on the cover and sat down to read. As Carl turned the pages, he read about the planets, stars, and galaxies. He learned that the Earth was just one of many planets orbiting the Sun. He found out that the stars were not just points of light in the sky, but were actually enormous suns, many times larger than our own. Carl was amazed. He felt like he had discovered a secret about the universe that not many people knew. Carl's interest in science grew stronger each day. His parents bought him a simple telescope. It wasn't very powerful, but it was enough for Carl to see the moon's craters and the planets' moons. On clear nights, Carl would set up his telescope in the backyard and spend hours gazing at the sky. He made notes about what he saw and tried to draw the moon's surface. Sometimes his friends would join him, but they didn't share the same excitement. They preferred playing ball games or running around. But Carl didn't mind. He was happy exploring the mysteries of the universe. At school, Carl was a bright student. He loved reading and learning about different subjects, but science was his favourite. His teachers noticed his enthusiasm and often gave him extra books to read. One day, Carl's teacher asked the class to write about what they wanted to be when they grew up. Carl knew his answer immediately. He wrote, "I want to be an astronomer and study the stars." When he showed his essay to his parents, they smiled with pride. His mother hugged him and said, "You can be anything you want, Carl, as long as you work hard and follow your dreams." His father nodded in agreement and added, "Remember to always stay curious and never stop asking questions." Carl took their words to heart. He continued to visit the library and read every book about space he could find. He learned about famous scientists like Isaac Newton and Galileo Galilei. He was fascinated by their discoveries and wondered if he could one day make his own contributions to science. One winter night, Carl had a memorable experience that deepened his love for astronomy. It was a cold, clear evening, and the stars were shining brightly. Carl set up his telescope as usual, but this time he saw something extraordinary. A comet was passing through the sky. Its tail stretched across the night, glowing softly, Carl watched in awe, feeling a connection to the vast universe. The next day, Carl told his teacher and classmates about the comet. His teacher smiled and said, "Carl, you have the heart of a true scientist. Always observe, always learn." Carl beamed with pride. He knew he had found his passion. As Carl grew older, his interest in science only intensified. He joined the school science club and participated in science fairs. He loved discussing his ideas with other students and learning from them. Carl's room was filled with science magazines, posters of planets, and models of the solar system. He even had a map of the stars on his ceiling, so he could look at them before falling asleep. One day, Carl's father brought home a special gift for him, a more advanced telescope. Carl was thrilled. This telescope allowed him to see the planets in greater detail. He could now observe Jupiter's moons and Saturn's rings clearly. He spent many nights studying the skies, feeling like an explorer on a grand adventure. Carl's fascination with the universe also led him to think about life beyond Earth. He read about the possibility of extraterrestrial life and wondered if humans were alone in the universe. This question stayed with him and would become one of the central themes of his later work. Despite his deep interest in science, Carl was also a regular kid. He enjoyed playing with his friends, riding his bike, and going to the movies. But his true passion always called him back to the stars. Every time he looked through his telescope, he felt a sense of wonder and excitement. He knew that he wanted to spend his life exploring the mysteries of the cosmos. Carl Sagan's early life in Brooklyn laid the foundation for his future as a scientist. His curiosity, supported by his loving parents and inspired by his experiences, set him on a path to become one of the most influential astronomers of his time. As he gazed at the stars, Carl dreamed of a future where he could share the wonders of the universe with the world. And little did he know, his dreams were just beginning to unfold. Chapter 2: Education. Carl Sagan's journey through school was one filled with curiosity and a deep love for learning. From a young age, he knew he wanted to explore the mysteries of the universe. His school years were the stepping stones that would lead him to become one of the most famous scientists of his time. Carl attended David A. Boody Junior High School in Brooklyn. He was an excellent student, always eager to learn. His teachers noticed his enthusiasm for science and encouraged him to pursue his interests. Carl's favorite subjects were science and mathematics. He enjoyed solving problems and understanding how things worked. He was particularly fascinated by the stars and planets. At home, he spent many evenings reading science books and looking through his telescope. In high school, Carl's passion for science continued to grow. He attended Brooklyn Technical High School, one of the best science and engineering schools in the city. There, Carl met other students who shared his interests. He joined the astronomy club and spent hours discussing the latest discoveries in space. He loved being around people who were as excited about science as he was. One of Carl's high school teachers, Mr. Shapiro, recognized his potential. Mr. Shapiro was a physics teacher who had a special talent for making complex ideas simple. He often stayed after class to answer Carl's many questions. One day, Mr. Shapiro handed Carl a book on physics and said, "I think you'll enjoy this, Carl. It's about the laws that govern the universe." Carl took the book home and started reading it right away. He was amazed by what he learned. The book explained how everything in the universe followed certain rules or laws, and how scientists used these laws to understand the world around them. Carl realized that physics was the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe. From that moment on, he knew he wanted to study physics and astronomy. After graduating from high school, Carl applied to several universities. He was accepted by the University of Chicago, one of the best schools for science in the country. Carl was thrilled. He knew that studying at the University of Chicago would give him the opportunity to learn from some of the greatest scientists in the world. At the University of Chicago, Carl met his first mentor, Gerard Kuiper, a famous astronomer. Kuiper was known for his work on the solar system and was very knowledgeable about planets and moons. He saw Carl's passion and potential and took him under his wing. Kuiper encouraged Carl to think critically and to always ask questions. He often said, "A good scientist is never afraid to ask why." Carl spent many hours in the university's library, reading books and scientific papers. He was particularly interested in the study of planetary atmospheres. He wanted to understand how planets formed and why they had different climates. Carl's curiosity led him to study many different subjects, including chemistry, biology, and geology. He believed that understanding the universe required knowledge from many different fields. One day, while reading a scientific paper, Carl came across the work of Harold Urey, a chemist who had won the Nobel Prize. Urey's research on the formation of the solar system fascinated Carl. He decided to write to Urey and ask if he could study with him. To Carl's surprise, Urey agreed. Carl was thrilled to have the opportunity to work with such a renowned scientist. Under Urey's guidance, Carl began researching the atmospheres of planets. He used data from telescopes and space missions to study the composition of different planets' atmospheres. Carl was particularly interested in the planet Venus. He discovered that Venus had a thick atmosphere of carbon dioxide and that it was much hotter than Earth. This led him to the conclusion that Venus experienced a runaway greenhouse effect, where heat was trapped by the planet's atmosphere, causing its temperature to rise. Carl's work on Venus was groundbreaking. It showed how studying other planets could help us understand our own planet better. His research also highlighted the importance of protecting Earth's environment. Carl often said, "We must learn from the mistakes of other planets to protect our own." During his time at the University of Chicago, Carl also studied the possibility of life on other planets. He was fascinated by the idea that we might not be alone in the universe. Carl's studies led him to work on the Drake equation, a formula used to estimate the number of civilizations in our galaxy. He believed that understanding the conditions for life on other planets would help us understand the origins of life on Earth. Carl's dedication to his studies paid off. He graduated with high honors and decided to continue his education by pursuing a PhD in astronomy and astrophysics. His doctoral research focused on the atmospheres of Jupiter and Saturn. He used data from the Pioneer and Voyager space missions to study these giant planets. Carl discovered that both planets had complex atmospheres with many different gases, including hydrogen, helium, and methane. Carl's research earned him respect in the scientific community. He published several papers and presented his findings at conferences. His ability to explain complex ideas in simple terms made him a popular speaker. Carl's passion for science was evident in everything he did. He believed that everyone should have the opportunity to learn about the universe and often spoke about the importance of science education. One of Carl's most memorable experiences during his education was meeting the famous physicist Enrico Fermi. Fermi was known for his work on nuclear reactions and was one of the leading scientists of his time. Carl was excited to meet him and discuss his research. Fermi listened carefully to Carl's ideas and offered valuable advice. He told Carl, "Always follow your curiosity. It will lead you to great discoveries." Carl took Fermi's advice to heart. He continued to explore new ideas and push the boundaries of science. His education at the University of Chicago laid the foundation for his future work. It taught him the importance of asking questions, seeking answers, and sharing knowledge with others. Carl Sagan's path to higher education was filled with curiosity, hard work, and the support of his mentors. His school years shaped him into the scientist he would become, and his experiences at the University of Chicago opened the doors to a lifetime of discovery. Carl's journey was just beginning, but he was already making a mark on the world of science. Chapter 3. Early Career. Carl Sagan's early career was a time of excitement and discovery. After completing his education at the University of Chicago, Carl was eager to start his professional journey in astronomy. He wanted to contribute to our understanding of the universe and share his discoveries with the world. Carl's first job was as an assistant professor at Harvard University. Harvard was one of the most prestigious universities in the world, and Carl was thrilled to join its faculty. His office was filled with books, scientific journals, and a telescope by the window. Carl felt like he was exactly where he needed to be. At Harvard, Carl focused on studying the atmospheres of planets. He continued his research on Venus, which had fascinated him during his studies. Using data from space missions and telescopes, Carl discovered that Venus's atmosphere was much hotter and denser than Earth's. He found that the thick layer of carbon dioxide in Venus's atmosphere trapped heat, creating a runaway greenhouse effect. This discovery was important because it showed how the greenhouse effect could affect a planet's climate. Carl's work on Venus earned him recognition in the scientific community. He published several papers detailing his findings. His ability to explain complex scientific ideas in a simple and engaging way made his work accessible to a broader audience. Scientists and students alike appreciated his clear and enthusiastic style. While at Harvard, Carl also worked on the Mariner missions, a series of space missions to explore Mars. He studied the photographs and data sent back by the Mariner spacecraft. Carl was particularly interested in the possibility of life on Mars. The images showed that Mars had channels that looked like dry riverbeds. Carl speculated that liquid water might have once flowed on the planet's surface, which could mean that Mars might have supported life in the past. Carl's ideas about Mars were both exciting and controversial. Some scientists agreed with him, while others were skeptical. Carl welcomed the debate. He believed that science was about asking questions and testing ideas. He often said, "Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence." Carl's work on Mars sparked a new interest in the search for extraterrestrial life. During this time, Carl also developed a strong interest in the search for intelligent life beyond Earth. He became involved with the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI project. SETI used radio telescopes to listen for signals from other civilizations. Carl believed that if intelligent life existed elsewhere in the universe, it might try to communicate using radio waves. He helped design experiments to detect such signals and encouraged others to join the search. Carl's dedication to his research and his ability to communicate his ideas made him a rising star in the field of astronomy. He was invited to give lectures and talks at conferences and universities around the world. People were captivated by his passion for science and his vision of the universe. Carl had a unique talent for making science interesting and accessible to everyone. Despite his growing reputation, Carl faced challenges in his early career. Not everyone agreed with his ideas, and some of his colleagues at Harvard were critical of his work. Carl's focus on communicating science to the public was seen by some as a distraction from serious research. But Carl remained committed to his belief that science should be shared with everyone. He often quoted his mentor, Gerard Kuiper, saying, "A good scientist is never afraid to ask why." In 1968, Carl made a significant career move. He accepted a position at Cornell University as a full professor and the director of the Laboratory for Planetary Studies. Cornell was known for its strong science programs, and Carl was excited about the opportunities it offered. At Cornell, Carl continued his research on planetary atmospheres and the search for extraterrestrial life. He also began to focus more on teaching and mentoring students. Carl's move to Cornell proved to be a turning point in his career. He found a supportive environment where he could pursue his research and share his passion for science with a new generation of students. His lectures were always packed, and students loved his engaging teaching style. Carl encouraged them to think critically, ask questions, and explore new ideas. One of Carl's most important contributions during his early years at Cornell was his work on the Voyager missions. The Voyager spacecraft were designed to explore the outer planets of the solar system and beyond. Carl played a key role in planning the missions and analyzing the data they sent back. He was particularly interested in the Golden Record, a message sent on the Voyager spacecraft intended for any extraterrestrial life that might find it. The record contained sounds and images from Earth, including music, greetings in different languages, and photos of people and nature. Carl believed that the Golden Record was a way to introduce humanity to the cosmos. Carl's involvement with the Voyager missions further cemented his reputation as a leading scientist. The data from the Voyager spacecraft provided valuable insights into the outer planets and their moons. Carl's work helped us understand the atmospheres of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. He discovered that these giant planets had complex and dynamic atmospheres with powerful storms and beautiful rings. Throughout his early career, Carl remained dedicated to sharing his love of science with the public. He wrote articles for popular science magazines and appeared on television shows to discuss his research. Carl believed that everyone should have the opportunity to learn about the wonders of the universe. He often said, "The cosmos is within us. We are made of star stuff. We are a way for the universe to know itself." Carl's early career was marked by significant achievements and a growing reputation in the scientific community. His work on planetary atmospheres, the search for extraterrestrial life, and the Voyager missions expanded our understanding of the universe. Carl's ability to communicate complex scientific ideas in an engaging way inspired people around the world. He believed in the power of science to transform our understanding of the world and our place in it. As Carl's career progressed, he continued to explore new frontiers in science and to share his discoveries with the public. His early years laid the foundation for a lifetime of exploration and education. shaping him into one of the most influential scientists of his time. Chapter 5. The Cosmos Series. In the late 1970s, Carl Sagan had an idea that would change the way people looked at the universe. He wanted to create a television series that would bring the wonders of science and the cosmos into people's homes. This idea led to the creation of Cosmos: A Personal Voyage. Carl knew that making a TV series about science would be a big challenge. Television was a powerful medium, but it was also competitive. People liked to watch shows that were entertaining and easy to understand. Carl wanted Cosmos to be both educational and engaging. He believed that if people could see the beauty and mystery of the universe, they would be inspired to learn more about it. Carl teamed up with two talented people to create the series: Anne Druyan, a writer and producer, and Stephen Soter, an astrophysicist and writer. Together, they worked on the scripts and planned each episode. They wanted the show to be visually stunning, with beautiful images and animations that would capture the audience's imagination. One of the biggest challenges they faced was explaining complex scientific ideas in a way that everyone could understand. Carl was very good at this. He had a talent for breaking down complicated concepts into simple and clear explanations. He used everyday language and relatable examples to make science accessible to everyone. The team decided that each episode of Cosmos would focus on a different topic. They covered a wide range of subjects, from the origin of the universe to the evolution of life on Earth. They also included stories about famous scientists and their discoveries. Carl wanted people to see that science was not just about facts and figures, but also about human curiosity and exploration. Filming the series was another major challenge. They travelled to different locations around the world to shoot the episodes. They visited ancient observatories, modern laboratories, and beautiful natural landscapes. They also used special effects to create stunning visuals of space. These effects showed things like the birth of stars, the collision of galaxies, and the surface of distant planets. One of the most memorable scenes in Cosmos was Carl standing on the shore of the cosmic ocean. This scene was created using special effects, but it looked very real. Carl stood on a rocky shore, with waves crashing at his feet. Above him, the night sky was filled with stars and galaxies. He talked about how we are all connected to the universe and how our atoms were made in the hearts of stars. This powerful image helped viewers feel a personal connection to the cosmos. The series also introduced the Ship of the Imagination, a spaceship that could travel anywhere in the universe. This imaginative concept allowed Carl to take viewers on incredible journeys through space and time. They travelled to the edge of the known universe, visited other planets, and explored the microscopic world of atoms and molecules. The Ship of the Imagination made the series exciting and dynamic, and it helped viewers understand the vastness and complexity of the cosmos. Cosmos: A Personal Voyage was first broadcast in 1980. It was an instant success. Millions of people tuned in to watch the series. They were fascinated by the stunning visuals and Carl's engaging storytelling. The show was translated into many languages and aired in countries around the world. It became one of the most watched science programs in television history. The impact of Cosmos was enormous. It inspired a new generation of scientists and astronomers. Many people who watched the series as children grew up to pursue careers in science and space exploration. The show also helped to popularize science and make it more accessible to the general public. People who had never been interested in science before found themselves captivated by the wonders of the universe. One of the reasons for the show's success was Carl's ability to connect with the audience. He had a warm and friendly presence on screen. He spoke with enthusiasm and passion, and it was clear that he loved what he was talking about. Viewers felt like they were on a journey with Carl, exploring the cosmos together. His famous phrase, "We are made of star stuff," resonated with people and made them feel a deep connection to the universe. Cosmos also had a lasting impact on science education. Teachers used the series in their classrooms to make lessons more engaging and interesting. The show's clear explanations and beautiful visuals helped students understand complex scientific concepts. Carl's storytelling made science feel like an exciting adventure rather than a boring subject. After the success of Cosmos, Carl continued to work on other projects. He wrote books, gave lectures, and appeared on television shows. But Cosmos remained one of his most significant achievements. It showed the world that science could be both educational and entertaining. It demonstrated the power of television to inspire and educate. Carl often said that one of his goals was to share the joy of discovery with others. Cosmos was a perfect example of this. It took viewers on a journey through the universe, showing them the beauty and mystery of the cosmos. It encouraged people to ask questions, to explore, and to never stop learning. In the years following the original series, Cosmos continued to inspire people. A sequel series, Cosmos, A Space-Time Odyssey, was produced in 2014, hosted by astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson. This new series carried on Carl's legacy, bringing the wonders of the universe to a new generation. Cosmos, A Personal Voyage, was more than just a television series. It was a celebration of science and a testament to the power of human curiosity. It showed that the universe is a place of endless wonder and that we are all part of its grand story. Carl Sagan's vision and passion made Cosmos a landmark in science communication, and its impact continues to be felt today. Chapter 6. Personal Life. Carl Sagan was not just a scientist, he was also a husband, a father, and a friend. His personal life had a big impact on his work and his views on the universe. Let's explore the personal side of Carl Sagan and see how his relationships influenced his life and career. Carl was married 3 times. His first wife was Lynn Margulis, a biologist. They met while they were both students at the University of Chicago. Lynn was passionate about science, just like Carl. They had 2 children together, Dorian and Jeremy. Carl and Lynn often discussed their research and ideas at home. They supported each other's careers and shared a love for discovery. However, their marriage did not last. Carl and Lynn divorced in 1964. Despite the end of their marriage, they remained friends and continued to respect each other's work. Lynn went on to become a well-known scientist in her own right, contributing to the field of biology with her theory of endosymbiosis, which explains how complex cells evolved. In 1968, Carl married his second wife, artist Linda Salzman. Linda brought a different perspective to Carl's life. She was creative and had a deep appreciation for art and culture. Together, they worked on several projects, including the famous Golden Record on the Voyager spacecraft. The Golden Record was a message for any extraterrestrial life that might find it. It contained sounds and images from Earth, including music, greetings in different languages, and photos of people and nature. Linda helped design the cover of the record and selected some of the music. This project showed how Carl valued both science and art and believed they could work together to communicate the beauty of our world. Carl and Linda had one son, Nick. Carl loved spending time with his children. He enjoyed teaching them about the stars and the wonders of the universe. Carl's children remember him as a loving father who always encouraged their curiosity. He would often take them stargazing and explain the constellations. These moments were special for Carl and helped him stay connected to the things that first sparked his own interest in science. But like his first marriage, Carl's second marriage also ended in divorce. In 1981, Carl married his third wife, Anne Druyan. Anne was a writer and producer, and she shared Carl's passion for science and storytelling. They worked closely together on many projects, including the Cosmos series. Anne played a crucial role in the creation of Cosmos, helping to write and produce the episodes. She and Carl were true partners, both in their personal lives and in their work. Carl and Anne's relationship was built on mutual respect and admiration. They complemented each other well, Carl with his scientific knowledge, and Anne with her storytelling skills. Together, they created work that inspired millions of people around the world. Their partnership was a source of strength for Carl and helped him achieve some of his most significant accomplishments. Carl's personal experiences and relationships had a profound impact on his work. His interactions with his wives and children influenced his views on life and the universe. Carl often spoke about the importance of love and human connection. He believed that our relationships with each other were just as important as our understanding of the cosmos. This belief was evident in his writing and his public speaking. Carl's ability to connect with people on a personal level made his work more relatable and impactful. One of the most challenging periods in Carl's life was his battle with a rare bone marrow disease called myelodysplasia. In 1994, Carl was diagnosed with this illness, which required a bone marrow transplant. Throughout his treatment, Carl remained hopeful and continued to work on his projects. He underwent 3 bone marrow transplants and spent long periods in the hospital. Anne was by his side throughout this difficult time, offering support and encouragement. Despite his illness, Carl continued to write and communicate his ideas. He believed in the power of science to help humanity and remained dedicated to his work. In 1996, Carl published his book, The Demon-Haunted World: Science as a Candle in the Dark. In this book, he argued for the importance of scientific thinking and skepticism in a world full of misinformation. The book was well received and became a bestseller. Carl's illness reminded him of the fragility of life and the importance of appreciating every moment. He often spoke about the preciousness of our time on Earth and the need to make the most of it. His experience with myelodysplasia also reinforced his belief in the value of scientific research. He was grateful for the medical treatments that extended his life and allowed him to continue his work. Carl Sagan passed away on December 20, 1996, at the age of 62. His death was a great loss to the scientific community and to the world. People remembered him not only for his contributions to science, but also for his kindness, his passion, and his ability to inspire others. Anne Druyan continued Carl's work, preserving his legacy and promoting his ideas. Carl's personal life was filled with love, challenges, and triumphs. His relationships with his wives and children shaped his views and influenced his work. He believed in the power of human connection and the importance of understanding our place in the universe. Carl's ability to blend science with emotion made his work unique and impactful. Carl Sagan's personal life reminds us that scientists are not just people who work in labs or write papers. They are also parents, partners, and friends. They face challenges and joys, just like everyone else. Carl's story shows us that personal experiences and relationships can have a profound impact on our work and our views. His life was a testament to the power of curiosity, love, and perseverance. As we look up at the stars, we can remember Carl Sagan and his belief that we are all connected to the universe. His life and work continue to inspire us to explore, to learn, and to appreciate the wonder of the cosmos. Chapter 7. Advocacy and Controversies. Carl Sagan was more than a scientist. He was also a passionate advocate for science, the environment, and peace. His work took him beyond the classroom and the lab, into the realm of public debate and activism. In this chapter, we will explore Carl's advocacy efforts, his environmental activism, his stance on nuclear disarmament, and some of the controversies he faced. Carl believed that science was not just for scientists. He thought everyone should understand and appreciate the wonders of the universe. He used his fame to promote science education and critical thinking. Carl often spoke about the importance of skepticism and evidence-based thinking. He wanted people to question what they heard and saw, to seek the truth through observation and experiment. One of Carl's most significant advocacy efforts was his work on nuclear disarmament. During the Cold War, the threat of nuclear war was a constant concern. The United States and the Soviet Union had large arsenals of nuclear weapons, and the possibility of a nuclear conflict was very real. Carl was deeply worried about this. He understood the devastating effects that nuclear weapons could have on the planet. In 1983, Carl co-authored a paper on the concept of nuclear winter. Nuclear winter is a theory that if a large-scale nuclear war occurred, the smoke and dust from the explosions could block out sunlight, leading to a drastic cooling of the Earth's surface. This could result in widespread crop failures and famine. Carl's research showed that a nuclear war could have catastrophic consequences for the entire planet, not just the countries involved in the conflict. Carl's work on nuclear winter brought him into the public eye. He appeared on television shows and testified before Congress, explaining the dangers of nuclear weapons. He urged world leaders to reduce their nuclear arsenals and work towards disarmament. Carl's efforts helped raise awareness about the potential global impact of nuclear war and contributed to the debate on arms control. Carl was also a strong advocate for the environment. He believed that understanding our planet was crucial for protecting it. He spoke out about issues like climate change, pollution, and deforestation. Carl often said, "We only have one Earth, and we must take care of it." He used his platform to educate people about the importance of preserving our natural resources and taking action to combat environmental problems. In the late 1980s, Carl became involved in the debate over climate change. He warned that the burning of fossil fuels was releasing large amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which could lead to global warming. Carl compared the situation on Earth to what he had learned about Venus, a planet with a runaway greenhouse effect. He explained that if we did not take steps to reduce our carbon emissions, we could face severe consequences, including rising sea levels, extreme weather, and damage to ecosystems. Carl's environmental activism was not without controversy. Some people did not agree with his views on climate change and other issues. They argued that the science was not settled and that Carl was being alarmist. But Carl stood by his research and continued to speak out. He believed that it was better to take action to protect the planet than to do nothing and risk disaster. Another area where Carl faced controversy was his advocacy for the search for extraterrestrial life. Carl was a key figure in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI project. SETI uses radio telescopes to listen for signals from other civilizations in space. Carl believed that if intelligent life existed elsewhere in the universe, it might try to communicate with us using radio waves. He thought that finding evidence of extraterrestrial life would be one of the most significant discoveries in human history. Not everyone agreed with Carl's views on SETI. Some scientists thought that the search for extraterrestrial life was a waste of time and resources. They argued that there was no evidence that other civilizations existed and that the money spent on SETI could be better used for other scientific research. Carl disagreed. He believed that the potential benefits of finding extraterrestrial life were worth the investment. He often said, "The universe is a pretty big place. If it's just us, it seems like an awful waste of space." Despite the controversies, Carl remained committed to his advocacy work. He believed that science had the power to improve our lives and solve the world's problems. He continued to write books, give lectures, and appear on television to promote science, environmental protection, and peace. Carl's advocacy work sometimes put him at odds with politicians and other public figures. He was not afraid to speak out against policies he believed were harmful. For example, he criticized the Reagan administration's policies on nuclear weapons and environmental protection. Carl believed that it was the duty of scientists to speak out on important issues and to use their knowledge to help society. In addition to his public advocacy, Carl was also involved in several organizations that promoted science and peace. He co-founded the Planetary Society, an organization dedicated to the exploration of the solar system and the search for extraterrestrial life. The Planetary Society works to educate the public about space and to support space missions. Carl was also a member of the Union of Concerned Scientists, a group that advocates for scientific solutions to global problems. Carl's advocacy and activism left a lasting legacy. He inspired many people to take an interest in science and to think critically about the world around them. His work on nuclear disarmament and environmental protection helped raise awareness about these important issues and contributed to the global debate. Carl's willingness to speak out, even when it was controversial, showed that he was not just a scientist, but also a dedicated public servant. Carl Sagan's advocacy for science, the environment, and peace demonstrates the impact that one person can have on the world. His efforts to educate the public and to push for positive change continue to inspire people today. Carl believed in the power of knowledge and the importance of using that knowledge to make the world a better place. His legacy reminds us that science is not just about understanding the universe, but also about improving our lives and protecting our planet. Chapter 8. the pale blue dot. In 1990, a remarkable event occurred that changed the way we view our planet. It involved a photograph known as the pale blue dot. This image was taken by the Voyager 1 spacecraft, a tiny probe that had been travelling through space since 1977. The story behind this photograph and the message it carried became one of Carl Sagan's most memorable contributions to our understanding of the universe. Voyager 1 was designed to explore the outer planets of our solar system. By 1990, it had completed its primary mission and was heading towards the edge of the solar system. Before it left, Carl Sagan had a unique idea. He suggested that Voyager 1 turn its camera back towards Earth and take one last picture. He wanted to capture a final glimpse of our planet from the vastness of space. At first, not everyone agreed with Carl's idea. Some scientists thought it was unnecessary. They argued that Voyager's mission was to explore space, not to take pictures of Earth. But Carl believed that this photograph could be powerful. He thought it would give people a new perspective on our world. In February 1990, Voyager 1 turned its camera back towards Earth and took a series of pictures. One of these images showed Earth as a tiny dot, barely visible against the vastness of space. This tiny speck, less than a pixel in size, appeared against a band of light caused by the sun's reflection. Carl called it the pale blue dot. When Carl saw the photograph, he was deeply moved. He saw in this tiny dot a profound message about our place in the universe. He wrote about it in his book, also titled Pale Blue Dot. In the book, Carl described how small and fragile our planet looked from the distant vantage point of Voyager 1. He wrote about how this image showed that Earth is just a tiny part of the vast cosmos. Carl's words about the pale blue dot were powerful and thought-provoking. He said, "Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us." He reminded us that everyone we know, everyone who has ever lived, has done so on this tiny, fragile world. He talked about how all our conflicts, all our joys and sorrows have taken place on this small stage in the vastness of space. The pale blue dot photograph and Carl's words helped people see the Earth in a new way. It made us realize how precious and unique our planet is. It showed us that we are all connected, sharing this tiny world in the middle of an immense universe. Carl's message was one of unity and humility. He wanted people to understand that, despite our differences, we are all part of the same human family, living on the same small planet. Carl also used the pale blue dot to highlight the importance of taking care of our planet. He wrote about how fragile Earth is and how we must protect it. He talked about the need to preserve our environment and to treat each other with kindness and respect. Carl believed that the perspective provided by the pale blue dot could inspire people to work together to solve global problems. The pale blue dot became more than just a photograph. It became a symbol of our place in the universe. It reminded people that Earth is our only home and that we must cherish it. Carl's message resonated with many people, inspiring them to think about their role in the world and their responsibility to protect it. Carl Sagan's ability to convey such a profound message through a simple photograph showed his talent for communicating science. He had a unique gift for making complex ideas accessible and meaningful to everyone. He used his knowledge and his passion for the cosmos to inspire others to look at the world with wonder and curiosity. The impact of the pale blue dot continues to be felt today. It is often used in discussions about the environment, space exploration, and humanity's future. The photograph and Carl's words remind us of our shared responsibility to care for our planet and to seek peace and understanding among all people. Carl's message was clear. In the vastness of the universe, our differences seem small, and our shared humanity becomes more important. The pale blue dot encourages us to think beyond our immediate surroundings and consider the bigger picture. It challenges us to take care of our planet and each other. Through the pale blue dot, Carl Sagan left a lasting legacy. He showed us that science is not just about discovering new facts. It is also about gaining new perspectives and understanding our place in the universe. Carl's ability to inspire and educate through his work continues to influence and motivate people around the world. As we look at the pale blue dot, we are reminded of the beauty and fragility of our planet. We are reminded that we are all connected, sharing this small, precious world. Carl Sagan's message lives on, encouraging us to explore, to learn, and to protect the only home we have. Carl Sagan's work with the pale blue dot was a testament to his vision and his dedication to science and humanity. He believed that understanding our place in the universe could help us live better lives on Earth. His words and the image of the pale blue dot continue to inspire us to look up at the stars with wonder and to look at each other with compassion and respect. Chapter 9. Teaching and Mentoring. Carl Sagan was not only a famous scientist and communicator, he was also a dedicated teacher and mentor. At Cornell University, he spent many years inspiring students and young scientists with his passion for the cosmos. In this chapter, we will explore Carl's contributions as a teacher and mentor and hear stories from his students and colleagues about the impact he had on their lives. Carl joined Cornell University in 1968 as a professor of astronomy and space sciences. From the very beginning, his lectures were different from those of other professors. Carl had a unique way of making complex scientific ideas easy to understand. His enthusiasm for the subject was contagious, and students flocked to his classes. It wasn't unusual for his lectures to be standing room only. One of Carl's students, Anne, remembers her first class with him vividly. He walked into the room with a big smile and started talking about the stars. He made the universe feel alive. Every lecture was like a journey through space. He didn't just teach us facts. He made us feel the wonder of discovery. Carl's teaching methods were innovative. He used visuals, models, and even stories to explain scientific concepts. He believed that learning should be an exciting adventure. Carl often took his students outside at night to observe the stars through telescopes. He would point out constellations and planets, making the night sky a giant classroom. One memorable story comes from a night when Carl took his students to a remote area away from the city lights. The sky was clear and the stars were shining brightly. Carl set up a large telescope and invited each student to take a look. When it was John's turn, he looked through the telescope and gasped. "I see the rings of Saturn," he exclaimed. Carl smiled and said, "Isn't it amazing? You're looking at a planet nearly 1 billion miles away. That's the power of astronomy." Carl's colleagues at Cornell also admired his dedication to teaching. Professor Jane, a fellow astronomer, recalls how Carl always made time for his students, even when he was busy with his research and public engagements. Carl believed that inspiring the next generation of scientists was one of the most important things he could do. He was never too busy to answer a question or offer guidance. Carl's mentorship extended beyond the classroom. He often invited students to his home for informal discussions about science and life. These gatherings were known as Carl's Science Nights. Students would sit in his living room discussing the latest discoveries in astronomy, debating scientific ideas, and sharing their dreams. Carl encouraged them to think critically, ask questions, and explore new ideas. He made them feel that their contributions were valuable and that they could make a difference in the world of science. One of Carl's former students, Linda, shares an anecdote about how Carl's mentorship shaped her career. "I was working on my thesis and was stuck on a complex problem. I went to Carl for advice. He listened patiently and then suggested a new approach. He didn't give me the answer, but guided me to find it myself. That moment changed my perspective. I realized the importance of perseverance and creative thinking." Carl's influence as a mentor was not limited to his students at Cornell. He also supported young scientists around the world. He was involved in various programs that aimed to promote science education and provide opportunities for aspiring scientists. Carl believed that science should be accessible to everyone, regardless of their background. One such program was the SETI Institute's summer internship program, where young scientists could work on the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Carl was a strong advocate for SETI and often took time to mentor the interns. Maria, one of the interns, remembers how Carl's encouragement motivated her. Carl told us that the search for life beyond Earth was one of the most important endeavors of our time. His passion and belief in our potential inspired us to work harder and dream bigger. Carl's dedication to teaching and mentoring earned him several awards, including the NASA Distinguished Public Service Medal and the Public Welfare Medal from the National Academy of Sciences. But for Carl, the greatest reward was seeing his students succeed and contribute to the field of science. He often said, "The true measure of a teacher's success is the achievements of their students." Despite his busy schedule, Carl always made time for one-on-one mentoring sessions. He believed that personal interaction was crucial for effective teaching. During these sessions, he would listen carefully to his students' ideas and challenges, offering thoughtful advice and encouragement. His office was a place where students felt welcomed and valued. Carl's impact as a teacher and mentor extended beyond his lifetime. Many of his students went on to become prominent scientists, educators, and leaders in various fields. They carried forward the lessons they learned from Carl, spreading his passion for science and his commitment to education. His influence can be seen in the many programs and initiatives that aim to inspire young people to pursue careers in science. In addition to his direct mentorship, Carl also wrote several books aimed at educating the public about science. Books like The Demon-Haunted World and Cosmos were written in a way that made science accessible and interesting to everyone. These books continue to inspire readers to explore the wonders of the universe and to think critically about the world around them. Carl Sagan's contributions as a teacher and mentor were profound. He had a unique ability to inspire and educate, making complex scientific ideas understandable and exciting. Through his teaching, mentoring, and writing, Carl left a lasting legacy in the field of science education. He showed us that the true power of science lies not just in discovering new facts, but in inspiring others to look at the universe with wonder and curiosity. As we reflect on Carl Sagan's life and work, we are reminded of the importance of education and mentorship. Carl's passion for teaching and his dedication to his students continue to inspire educators and scientists around the world. His legacy lives on in the countless lives he touched, the minds he inspired, and the students he mentored. Chapter 10. Scientific Achievements. Carl Sagan was a scientist whose work changed the way we understand the universe. He made many important discoveries and contributions to science. This chapter looks at some of his key scientific achievements, including his research on the greenhouse effect, the search for extraterrestrial life, and his work on climate science. One of Carl's most significant achievements was his research on the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect is a natural process that warms the Earth's surface. It happens when the sun's energy reaches the Earth and is absorbed by the surface. Some of this energy is then radiated back into space, but greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide trap some of this energy, keeping the Earth warm. Carl was particularly interested in the planet Venus. He noticed that Venus had a very thick atmosphere made mostly of carbon dioxide. Using data from space missions and telescopes, Carl studied the planet's atmosphere. He found that Venus was much hotter than Earth, even hotter than Mercury, which is closer to the Sun. Carl discovered that the high temperature was due to a runaway greenhouse effect. The thick carbon dioxide atmosphere trapped so much heat that the planet's surface became extremely hot. This discovery was important because it showed how powerful the greenhouse effect could be. Carl warned that if we were not careful with our use of fossil fuels on Earth, we could experience a similar runaway greenhouse effect, leading to global warming. His work on Venus helped scientists understand the potential dangers of climate change on our own planet. Another major area of Carl's work was the search for extraterrestrial life. He believed that the universe was vast, and that it was unlikely that Earth was the only place where life existed. Carl was a key figure in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI project. SETI uses radio telescopes to listen for signals from other civilizations in space. Carl helped design experiments to detect these signals. He believed that if intelligent life existed elsewhere, it might try to communicate using radio waves. Carl also worked on the Drake equation, a formula used to estimate the number of civilizations in our galaxy. The Drake equation considers factors like the number of stars, the number of planets, and the likelihood of life developing on those planets. Carl's work on SETI was groundbreaking. It opened up new possibilities for understanding our place in the universe. While no definitive signals from extraterrestrial civilizations have been found yet, Carl's work has inspired many scientists to continue the search. He often said, "The universe is a pretty big place. If it's just us, it seems like an awful waste of space." Carl also made significant contributions to climate science. He was deeply concerned about the impact of human activities on the environment. In the late 1980s, Carl became involved in the debate over climate change. He warned that the burning of fossil fuels was releasing large amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which could lead to global warming. Carl compared the situation on Earth to what he had learned about Venus. He explained that if we did not take steps to reduce our carbon emissions, we could face severe consequences, including rising sea levels, extreme weather, and damage to ecosystems. His work helped raise awareness about the importance of protecting our planet and taking action to combat climate change. One of Carl's famous quotes about climate change was, "We are altering the environment in such a way that it may become inhospitable for us." He believed that understanding our planet was crucial for protecting it. Carl's research and advocacy played a key role in bringing attention to environmental issues and the need for sustainable practices. Carl's work on planetary science extended beyond Venus and Earth. He was involved in many space missions, including the Viking missions to Mars and the Voyager missions to the outer planets. Carl's research on Mars was particularly significant. He studied the planet's surface and atmosphere, looking for signs of past or present life. The Viking missions in the 1970s were the first to land spacecraft on Mars. Carl was part of the team that designed the experiments to search for life. While the results were inconclusive, Carl remained optimistic. He believed that future missions might find evidence of life on Mars. His work laid the foundation for ongoing exploration of the Red Planet. Carl's involvement with the Voyager missions was another highlight of his career. The Voyager spacecraft were designed to explore the outer planets of the solar system and beyond. Carl played a key role in planning the missions and analyzing the data they sent back. He was particularly interested in the atmospheres of Jupiter and Saturn. Carl discovered that these giant planets had complex and dynamic atmospheres with powerful storms and beautiful rings. One of the most famous parts of the Voyager missions was the Golden Record. Carl helped design this record, which was sent on the Voyager spacecraft as a message to any extraterrestrial life that might find it. The record contained sounds and images from Earth, including music, greetings in different languages, and photos of people and nature. Carl believed that the Golden Record was a way to introduce humanity to the cosmos. Throughout his career, Carl Sagan was also a prolific writer. He wrote many books and scientific papers that communicated his ideas to both the scientific community and the general public. His book, Cosmos, which accompanied the television series of the same name, became a bestseller. It inspired millions of people to learn more about the universe. Carl's ability to communicate complex scientific ideas in a simple and engaging way made him a beloved figure in science education. He believed that science was not just about discovering new facts, but also about sharing knowledge and inspiring curiosity. His books and articles continue to be read by people around the world, spreading his message of wonder and exploration. In addition to his scientific achievements, Carl was a strong advocate for science education and public understanding of science. He often spoke about the importance of skepticism and critical thinking. Carl believed that everyone should have the opportunity to learn about science and appreciate the beauty of the universe. Carl Sagan's scientific achievements were many and varied. His work on the greenhouse effect, the search for extraterrestrial life, and climate science has had a lasting impact on our understanding of the universe and our place in it. Carl's dedication to research, his passion for discovery, and his ability to communicate science to the public have left a lasting legacy. Through his work, Carl showed us the importance of exploring the cosmos, protecting our planet, and continuing to ask questions about the world around us. His achievements continue to inspire new generations of scientists and dreamers, encouraging us to look up at the stars and wonder. Chapter 11. Awards and recognition. Carl Sagan was a man who dedicated his life to science and education. Over the years, his hard work and passion earned him many awards and recognitions. These honors highlighted his contributions to science, his ability to communicate complex ideas, and his efforts to inspire curiosity in others. In this chapter, we will explore some of the key awards Carl received and what they meant to him and his legacy. One of the most prestigious awards Carl received was the Pulitzer Prize. In 1978, Carl won the Pulitzer Prize for his book, The Dragons of Eden: Speculations on the Evolution of Human Intelligence. This book explored how human intelligence evolved and what it means for our understanding of ourselves and the universe. Winning the Pulitzer Prize was a significant achievement for Carl. It recognized his ability to write about science in a way that was both engaging and informative. Carl was also honored with several awards from NASA. One of the most notable was the NASA Distinguished Public Service Medal. This medal is the highest award that NASA gives to a non-government individual. Carl received this medal for his contributions to the space program, including his work on the Mariner, Viking, and Voyager missions. These missions provided valuable data about other planets and helped expand our knowledge of the solar system. Receiving the NASA Distinguished Public Service Medal was a testament to Carl's impact on space exploration. In addition to these prestigious awards, Carl was also recognized by many scientific organizations. He received the Oersted Medal, which is awarded by the American Association of Physics Teachers. This medal is given to individuals who have made significant contributions to the teaching of physics. Carl was honored for his ability to make science accessible and interesting to students and the public. Another important recognition was the John F. Kennedy Astronautics Award from the American Astronautical Society. This award is given to individuals who have made outstanding contributions to the field of astronautics. Carl received this award for his work on planetary science and his efforts to promote the exploration of space. Carl was also awarded the Public Welfare Medal from the National Academy of Sciences. This medal is given to individuals who have used science for the public good. Carl's work in science communication and his efforts to raise awareness about environmental issues and nuclear disarmament were key factors in receiving this award. The Public Welfare Medal recognized Carl's commitment to using science to make the world a better place. Throughout his career, Carl received numerous honorary degrees from universities around the world. These degrees recognized his contributions to science and education. One of the most memorable was an honorary doctorate from Harvard University, his alma mater. Receiving this degree was a special moment for Carl, as it honored his lifelong dedication to learning and discovery. Carl was also a member of several prestigious scientific organizations. He was elected to the National Academy of Sciences, one of the highest honors a scientist can receive in the United States. This membership recognized Carl's significant contributions to our understanding of the universe. He was also a Fellow of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences and the American Physical Society. Despite receiving many awards and honors, Carl remained humble. He often said that the greatest reward was knowing that his work had inspired others to learn and explore. He believed that science was a collective effort and that his achievements were the result of the support and collaboration of many people. Carl's awards were not just a recognition of his individual accomplishments, but also a testament to the importance of teamwork and shared goals in science. One of the most meaningful recognitions for Carl was the Carl Sagan Medal for Excellence in Public Communication in Planetary Science. This medal, named in his honor, is awarded by the American Astronomical Society's Division for Planetary Sciences. It recognizes individuals who have made outstanding contributions to public understanding and enthusiasm for planetary science. The creation of this medal was a tribute to Carl's legacy as a communicator and educator. It ensures that his impact on science communication will continue to be remembered and celebrated. Carl's numerous awards and recognitions highlighted his diverse contributions to science and society. They acknowledged his groundbreaking research, his ability to inspire and educate, and his commitment to using science for the public good. These honors were a reflection of Carl's passion for discovery and his belief in the power of knowledge. Even as he received these awards, Carl continued to work tirelessly. He remained dedicated to his research, his writing, and his efforts to promote science education. Carl's awards were not just milestones in his career. They were reminders of the importance of curiosity, perseverance, and the pursuit of knowledge. Carl Sagan's legacy is not just measured by the awards he received, but by the countless lives he touched and inspired. His work continues to influence new generations of scientists, educators, and enthusiasts. Carl showed us that science is not just a profession, but a way of thinking and understanding the world. His awards and recognitions are a testament to his enduring impact on science and society. Chapter 12. Legacy and Impact. Carl Sagan's work has left a lasting impact on science and society. Even after his passing, his ideas and passion for exploration continue to inspire people around the world. This chapter looks at how Carl's legacy lives on through his contributions to science, his influence on the public, and the institutions that carry forward his vision. Carl Sagan was a visionary who saw the universe not just as a collection of stars and planets, but as a source of endless wonder and possibilities. His work in planetary science, astronomy, and the search for extraterrestrial life expanded our understanding of the cosmos. But beyond his scientific achievements, Carl had a unique ability to make complex ideas accessible and exciting to everyone. One of Carl's most significant legacies is his role in popularizing science. Through his books, television series, and public appearances, Carl brought the wonders of the universe into people's homes. His television series, Cosmos: A Personal Voyage, was watched by millions and translated into many languages. It made science fascinating and understandable for people of all ages. Carl's storytelling connected scientific facts with a sense of curiosity and adventure, encouraging viewers to look at the stars with awe and excitement. Carl's books, including Cosmos, The Demon-Haunted World, and Pale Blue Dot, continue to be read and appreciated by new generations. These books explore topics ranging from the origins of the universe to the importance of scientific thinking in everyday life. They convey Carl's belief that science is a tool for understanding the world and making it better. His clear and engaging writing style makes these complex subjects accessible to readers without a scientific background. One of Carl's most enduring contributions is the Planetary Society, an organization he co-founded in 1980. The Planetary Society is dedicated to advancing space exploration and fostering public interest in space. It supports various space missions, advocates for space policy, and provides educational resources. Through the Planetary Society, Carl's vision of exploring the cosmos and seeking answers to profound questions about life and the universe continues to thrive. The Planetary Society has been involved in many significant projects, such as the Light Sail mission, which tested solar sailing technology. This project, and others like it, reflect Carl's innovative spirit and his belief in the potential of space exploration. The Society also engages with the public through events, publications, and online content, keeping Carl's legacy alive by inspiring curiosity and passion for space. Carl's impact extends beyond the scientific community. He was a strong advocate for science education and critical thinking. He believed that everyone should have the opportunity to learn about science and its methods. Carl often spoke about the importance of skepticism and evidence-based thinking in making informed decisions. His book, The Demon-Haunted World, addresses these themes, encouraging readers to think critically and question pseudoscience and misinformation. Carl's work in environmental science also remains relevant today. His research on the greenhouse effect and his warnings about climate change were ahead of their time. He understood the importance of protecting our planet and the need for sustainable practices. Carl's efforts to raise awareness about environmental issues continue to inspire action and policy changes aimed at combating climate change. One of the most touching aspects of Carl's legacy is the personal impact he had on individuals. Many people, including scientists, educators, and enthusiasts, credit Carl with inspiring their interest in science. His ability to communicate complex ideas in a relatable and passionate way made science accessible and appealing. Stories of people who chose careers in science or developed a lifelong love for astronomy because of Carl's influence are common and heartwarming. Carl's influence also extends to popular culture. References to his work and quotes from his writings appear in movies, television shows, and music. His famous phrase, "We are made of star stuff," resonates with many as a reminder of our connection to the universe. Carl's presence in popular culture helps keep his ideas and messages alive in the public consciousness. Despite the many accolades and recognition Carl received during his lifetime, he remained humble and focused on his work. He believed that the pursuit of knowledge and the exploration of the universe were collaborative efforts that required the contributions of many. Carl often emphasized that his achievements were part of a broader scientific endeavor, and he was always quick to acknowledge the work of his colleagues and collaborators. Carl's legacy is a testament to the power of curiosity, passion, and communication. He showed us that science is not just about discovering new facts, but about understanding our place in the universe and striving to make our world better. His life and work continue to inspire people to look up at the stars and wonder, to ask questions, and to seek answers. As we reflect on Carl Sagan's legacy, we see a man who dedicated his life to exploring the unknown and sharing the beauty of the cosmos with others. His contributions to science, his efforts to promote critical thinking, and his ability to inspire through storytelling have left an indelible mark on the world. Carl's vision of a universe filled with wonder and possibility continues to guide and inspire us. Carl Sagan once said, "Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known." This belief in the endless possibilities of discovery is at the heart of his legacy. His work reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge is a journey filled with excitement and wonder. Through his teachings, writings, and the institutions that carry on his mission, Carl Sagan's impact will continue to be felt for generations to come.